This is Matt from Offshore Tackle. I want to talk to you about what? About crankbait tuning. Something that we may or may not think of all the time. So here's what I'm talking about. When your line is hooked onto this crankbait and it's being pulled along, right, and it's wobbling, we want to make sure that it's tuned in so that it doesn't go off to this side, or it doesn't, well, worse, come back this way where, you know what, you're going to tangle up other lines. Now I know it's going to be really, really tough to see this, so I made a little model. Alright, so here's our hook just like we have on this bill. If it is absolutely straight here, generally your crankbait is going to go exactly in a straight line. The way that we test this, we simply hold our rod out onto the water, put the crankbait in the water, and make sure it's going along straight. What happens if this part is actually bent over, or if something with the manufacturer? What you're going to find is when the water comes down here, it's going to push that crankbait off to the side. Two things happen there. Number one, obviously we want it to go exactly where we're putting it, but the second thing is that it doesn't do, as a friend of mine says, you got to have the wobble. So if the water is hitting in the wrong angle, you lose that wobble. So it's very, very important, and we need to get this tuned in. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because of this tool right here. This is an amazing tool that is called the Easy Crankbait Tuner by Offshore Tackle. And you know what's really cool about this? Is that now, when you're out in that boat and you are tuning it, you hear the click? You're only going to put so much pressure and move this eyelet only so far. Now, all of you have been out in the boat, and just like me, where I got my needle nose and I end up, you know what, bending this over too far, breaking it off, what have you. There's a small adjustment screw on here so you can just sneak up on where you want to go. And remember, if your crankbait is going off this way, we need to move that way. So you're basically going to move the eyelet in whatever direction you want the bait to go to end up to be absolutely centered. It's absolutely critical. So again, if our crankbait is heading away from the boat, bend this in and sneak up on it with what? The Easy Crankbait Tuner. You'll be able to get yours this year from Offshore Tackle. So you know what, when you're out there, think of me, get those baits all tuned in, and you know what, tight lines.